And good evening to all of you lovely people that are out here watching right now. This is KestinTheVoice. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your busy days to come on in here as we play a bunch of games here for your entertainment. So I just wanted to get into this one really quick here tonight because, hey, I've been wanting to play this game ever since it came out like a few weeks ago. But I have been holding off because I wanted to have the first experience on the stream here for you all, and it is the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, if you recall, or if you have been a viewer of this channel for some time, we have played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney once before, and we had a grand old time with it. But this game, or set of games, is set before that time, in an older time period, with, I believe it's set in... It might still be Japan, but it's almost like British influence as well. But a lot of different things I know next to nothing about it except one of the people that you're working with is a guy whose literal name is Herlock Sholmes. I did not missay that. It is exactly what his name is supposed to be. But just hearing that was enough to make me interested in it, and because I like Phoenix Wright so much, I figured I would have a grand old time with this one as well. Again, if you are a new viewer here, thank you so much for taking the time to come on in here. If you are interested in what we do here, be sure to leave a follow or a subscription. Feel free to join us on the Discord page to chat with other viewers here on the channel and suggest different things, share fan art, music, whatever have you, different things like that. You can go to the Teespring store that we have and see some of the different merchandise that we've got. Also, if you happen to miss anything here and you have to leave early or you want to catch up with things that we've been doing before, no problems. You can either catch the VODs that are here on Twitch, or you can go to YouTube at KestinTheVoice, managed by our wonderful mod, Diamond Planet. Thank you so much to them for everything that they do. And I think that's about all I had. I decided to hold off on Kingdom Hearts this week because... if you recall, the last time I played it, I was having a very difficult time with, like, the next to last level there before we get to, like, the official end game of everything. And it made me realize that there was a lot of... I needed to do a lot more off-screen grinding to be able to handle that. So that's what I'm going to do. I didn't have time to do it before this stream, so I decided to do something different in the meantime. And plus, I'm going to be gone next week. I'm actually going to be taking a little trip for the week next week, and just going to be enjoying my time in the location that I am going. I'll talk about that more at a different time. Yeah, Diamond's just now noticing that he got flipped. That's one of the things our little Sari bot can do within the chat there if you want to mess around with people a bit. Already making the playlist for the VOD channel. Cool, Diamond. Thank you so much. And you can even get dog facts from Saribot. At the end of World War I, the German government trained the first guide dogs for war-blinded soldiers. And then a cat fact. Cats that live together sometimes rub each other's heads to show they have no intention of fighting. Young cats do this more often, especially when they are excited. Interesting. Very interesting. Especially showing the different facts, like especially with little Kest out over here, sitting there right in the corner. He's going to be watching in the chat while we go ahead and get into this game. But in the meantime, let us see what we have in store for ourselves. Oh, and another thing I probably should mention is that apparently this version of Ace Attorney has voice acting in it. But we also have the option, if we so choose, of turning the voice acting off if we want to just make up all the voices ourselves. But I kind of want to hear what people sound like first before I do that. So let us go ahead and... you need the nah, fam? Well, that's the thing. I don't know how pervasive the voice acting is. Like, if it's just through the entire thing or just for, like, small little segments, we're going to have to see. So let's go... because I've kept myself blinded to this game for the entire time. So let's go ahead and see what we've got. Great Ace Attorney Adventures, Great Ace Attorney 2. I guess it's just those two. But, new game. Let's see what we have in store. Oh, we've got animation.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling.
Can everyone hear this all right?
It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Kind of hard to hear the game? Okay. Turn it up here.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Uh-oh. Our main guy already shot someone? That's rough, buddy. The Adventure of the Great Detective. 22nd November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Adjudicator, Defendant's Antechamber, number 5. See if this works. Ah, yes it does. Okay, so it's not full voice acting, so at least the thoughts are still, let's just keep going. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors of this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? Ding. Okay, so it's not full voice acting. Let me just make sure I had that right with the options here, because I did have voices on. Okay, you know what? I think we're gonna be fine. So it's not full voice acting, so we've got room to work with. Okay. What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your prayers, murderer! I am being completely unbiased in this court of law. Sorry. Ryunosuke. Oh, that's our main guy. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Wait, isn't Naruhodo in Japanese just means I see? Or I understand? That's an... Well, I guess they're kind of taking the naming stuff from the original Phoenix Wright and bringing it over to this. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. In the Japanese game, Phoenix Wright is Ryuji Naruhodo. Oh, I didn't know that. Hey there, Adelheid. That's enough. Who said that? Oh. Okay, so we've got a guy with his headband just blowing in the wind. The non-existent wind. Oh, we actually have a history button that can show the... Whereas we saw too. That's a nice little touch. So... Chat, why don't we go ahead and get into it? What kind of name, what kind of voice is this guy going to have? Very proud individual. Believing the headband is blowing through the winds there. Almost makes me think of, like Ryu from Street Fighter because of the headband there. But his voice is not too different. Wait, mysterious borderline smoker, but hasn't smoked. Okay. So, a little bit like this. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. Firm authority. Firm authoritative smoker, non-smoker. Okay. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Oh my gosh! Whipping a sword? Are you threatening the bailiff, like, with an actual weapon? What kind of court is this? Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even been graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. Dot, 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 dot. What are you apologizing to me for? You're the one accused of being a murderer. Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. Obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I could never murder someone. I'm already getting the voices mixed. And there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Even though we clearly saw that clip with the gun in your hand, but that's not important. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. He's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. Oh, was I just saying all of that out loud? The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. Right when lawyers just became a thing. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Oh, I need to start using my echo effect. That's right, I used to do that for whenever I was inside a memory. So let's do that now. Congratulations, Kazuma! It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last! I know! I've been forever dreaming of this day. Don't you ever question why my voice is so much more scraggly for an undergraduate student? Nah, let's not question it. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He even got into Smash Brothers, can you believe it? He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. Or maybe that's just his headband blowing in the mysterious wind that keeps showing up out of nowhere. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. Depends on which legal system you're talking about, Cosmo, because some of them are not all that great. Animal Tame, thank you so much for the follow. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. Applebee's. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? Ah, new characters! Hang on a second here, I'm just gonna do one thing real quick. Sure. Window has popped out here for myself. And holding. There we go. All right. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Okay, now chat, I'm actually gonna recommend a voice for this guy, whoever he is. Tell me this doesn't look like J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man. Like, am I the only one that sees this, or do you see this as well? I mean, he's got the giant mustache, slick back hair, the gray hair, the big fuzzy eyebrows. Omni-Man. Oh, that's it. Well, I mean, they're both voiced by the same person, so I mean, I guess that would work. Oh boy, I haven't even tried Omni-Man's voice before. So, okay. Well, this case has personal significance to me, Parker. But never mind that for now. Sogi, we're invincible. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for pictures of Spider-Man and for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. Seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. And next person. Just don't get too many voices going or we might all be lost, but that's half the fun of it, Lizzie. You gotta realize that. Okay, chat. I defer back to you again. This young woman right here, who or how are we going to voice them as? Seems very quiet at the moment, but again, I've not played these games, so that personality could change at some point. Like during the last game, like with Maya, we had her voiced like a valley girl. I could probably try to do the same for this one, but we could try something different if you want. Well, until I see shy and soft-spoken, innocent. Okay. Seems about in line with the way she looks, so okay. Let's see how we can do with that. I shall accompany you. All right then, Ryunosuke. just the sudden shift between the two. Oh, and they're both looking at me now. Okay. All right then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes. Thanks, Kazuma. Elongated ellipses. Another elongated ellipses. Even more elongated ellipses. This is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be Peter Parker. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Omni-Man, or also known as Eugene Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name came from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. Yeah. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Spider-Man has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. Very odd parameters, but okay. What? As I suspected. You were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. Where did I get this fan from? He's agreed to defend me knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand! Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of Spider-Man photos from overseas to study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission even in the most unfavorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it! I swear it! I'm not a murderer! I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Oh my god, this even sounds like Spider-Man music. Do you listen to this? That's totally what it sounds like. That's perfect. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so if Damon is playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, what should I do then? As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, "I do." And then you'll be husband and wife. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. What, you're gonna go in there and admit you're guilty all of a sudden? Get out of here, you're fired! Oh wait, you don't work for me, you're hired again. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. Oh my. This is it. If the trial goes badly. Gordon Ramsay. Oh, I'm gonna have to see if I can use that voice for somebody ahead here. If this trial goes badly, Cosmo's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, he'll be found guilty of murder. And that's kind of the more important part here. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny! Oh my. 22nd November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Adjudicator. Courtroom number 2. So this is a courtroom.
The Supreme Court of Adjudicator. No court in the land has more power.
Oh, Dustcock is getting in on this quick. Apparently, I cannot say objection for the next little bit. Well, welly, well. You know how to pick 'em, Dusk, so we'll see what we can do. Oh, and I can't say nah, fam, either? I gotta come up with something else? Now you're making it difficult. Okay. I'll think of something here.
The Supreme Court of Adjudicator. No court in the land has more power.
I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. I think they're all mannequins. Lots of military and other uniforms in there.
Powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial.
A secret trial?
A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend.
What? But why?
It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin.
Oh my. Okay, chat, we have a new regal judge in front of ourselves. One that looks a little less clueless than the last judge we were having. Diamond says he looks like that guy. What guy are you talking about, Diamond? Oh, the prosecutor. Oh yeah, the prosecutor looks like the guy from the original Phoenix Wright. But now, let's think of a voice for this guy right here. Last time for the judge we did a, well, sort of an older type voice, but, that big, massive beard almost makes me, wait, really? Oh my goodness, Revsro. Sing mode as well. Gordon Ramsay's voice for the judge. Okay. You're probably gonna hear a lot more involved in this then. Sing mode. Wait, sing mode and Gordon Ramsay? This is gonna be... Diamond says save Gordon Ramsay. Okay. Or a British prosecutor. Okay. Yeah, I think there's another character I've seen before that would work better with Gordon Ramsay's voice. This guy almost makes me think of Hagrid from Harry Potter, to be honest. Tough cross voice. Okay, let's see. Do the sing mode then.
The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? That's the question I'm supposed to answer to. Oh dear now. This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then if I say I do, dot, 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 and more dots, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? I think I need to answer I do. Should I answer I do? I believe I should say I do. Could just wait and see, but no, I think I will go ahead and hit this answer. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant.
Yes!
Yeah. Yes! What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? That's a wrong voice. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. Glitcher Emily just resubscribed for 13 months. I'm going to go ahead and get some applause in here. It's amazing. Fantastic. All right. I think I still gotta go for here. But thank you, Glitcher Emily, still singing through here. I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be what? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. You don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? Well, now that I think about it, that's actually kind of a good point there, to be sure. No, it's not that really, it's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Tisk, Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well, tap, tap, tap. Does the accused admit defeat? Already, I'm trying to line up with the harmony of the song, but it's going all over the place. Renouncing his own counsel, really?
Objection!
I prithee not.
There's your replacement.
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent.
He's confident he can speak for himself.
Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san?
Oh, yes, exactly.
Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
Slam.
Okay, I think I went long enough on the singing point, so let's get back to the regular style if we so choose. This trial's taking so long to start. Well, it might be because I'm trying to sing through everything, Revsro.
As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Adjudicator of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo?
Yes, Your Excellency!
It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken.
Hey, Lady Amber, thanks so much for the resub.
My competence? What does that mean? It's questioning your ability to do the job.
They can't be questioning more than I am.
So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Are you a wizard, Harry?
Oh, yes.
Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
That's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that! What was it again?
Yunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank.
You know me so well.
All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record.
But I can't even find that!
It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of R.
What do you mean R? What are we in?
If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there.
Just have to press R for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose.
This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with R. Okay? Find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back.
Kazuma is 23 years old. Second year at the Imperial Yume University. He's my best friend despite being a student and qualified defense lawyer as well. Taylor Prime 13, thanks so much for the follow. Eugene Mikotova, 22, a medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University. He's an authority in forensic medicine and Kazuma's mentor. Taketsuchi Aochi, 51. The lead prosecutor of this case would appear to have little love for the changes the Cultural Reformation has brought about. And our victim, John H. Yes, we have so many names here. Kazuma Asogi, Yujin Mikotova, Taketsuchi Aochi, John Wilson. The victim of this case, he was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. Well, that makes sense. Behold Payne's ancestor. Out. Is that why they named him that? Because Payne was the name of the lawyer in modern times, and now his ancestor is literally named Ouchie?
Bruh.
Okay. Wow.
So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the People's section of the court record, then press X to present. Try it now.
Mr. Wilson!
Yes!
Victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Did we want to keep, for the record, did we want to keep this guy like a really nasally voice, or do we want to make something a little bit different for him? Deadly Virtues, thank you for the follow. Keep it nasally and such. Okay, I can do that. Doofensmirts. Oh, I got what he sounds like. Hang on a second here. I'm actually gonna, just so I can listen to a quick voice clip of him. Doofenshmirtz. Okay, let me listen to this real quick. Of course, there's a little ad on this one. So listen to this real quick. Okay. I think I've got an idea of how it goes. I've actually not watched Phineas and Ferb, so I had to take time to figure out what that sounded like. Although it might ruin his voice. Well, let's see how it sounds.
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England prior to UB University 3 years ago.
A lot of scraggly voices for this first part, I'm noticing.
Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. Can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
I was trying to see if that actually made like some kind of anagram. Of course, everyone's heard of the Ajfan.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not?
Hey, Lizzie, thanks so much for the 5 gift subs there. Much appreciated.
Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
Ugh. But I didn't do it.
This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. You're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So...
excuse me. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it?
Exactly. The government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman.
Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Nationalities and treaties won't make any difference to me here. Fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Tell us how it happened, dude.
Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going.
Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little bit longer. Applebee's has that barbecue steak with the Oreo shake. I really don't want to pass that up.
Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner.
British Empire. Wow. It's incredible to think of all these dots that are going through my mind. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table. He's still alive at this point, that's good. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson.
Now then, let me pose my next question, you defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency!
How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death.
Cause of death? Well, obviously that was...
Yunosuke, remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence.
By evidence? But how?
Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now.
Proof that I'm a student at Imperial University. I always wear it on the collar of my jacket. Post-mortem report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. So... Death report!
Yes!
Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile! That's the post-mortem report, I take it!
Sorry, yes, that's right, the, post-mortem report.
In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. Here in Japan,
You've been yawning a little bit. I'm tired.
a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way.
Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later.
This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. Court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record.
How modern is photographs for this time period? Photograph of victim. Shot in the front of the chest and subsequently died. Ooh. Hydration. Thank you, Lizzie. Which I saw you were asking earlier today. Yes, I did finally get my ice maker fixed in my fridge. I stood at my fridge standing in one spot for an hour with a blow dryer stuck inside my ice maker trying to thaw it out so it could run again. And then in my right hand, I had a phone watching internet historian videos. watching the cost of Concordia. Very good. Okay, hang on. So that's a photographic print. That's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible.
Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
That's touchdown.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba?
Yes. Clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me. That doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant.
Ah! Of course! When he was speaking with me before, he simply said,
Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial.
I'm not that good at voices. In the game.
He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he?
Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma.
Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats.
Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Yes, this isn't actually a headband. It's a living organism. It's a parasite on my forehead.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
All right. Chat, we have a new character. What's the voice gonna be this time? Tell you what I need. I probably should have thought of this before, but I probably should have made like a random wheel of fortune type thing where I could pull it up, spin it, and it lands on a certain voice, and then boom, that's the character. Looks butlery, stiff butler. Like the bellboy. Let's see. Let's see. See, last time we did Michael Caine, who is finally retired from acting, so well-earned retirement, sir. But Ben Stein. I don't know if you all have ever seen Ben Stein before. He used to have a game show on TV, but he was very flat-speaking. Wore glasses all the time, but he used to have a thing called Win Ben Stein's Money. And he was also in the movie The Mask as the professor that Stanley Ipkiss visits to figure out what the mask actually is. But we can see. Think Metaton, but less Metaton. Less dramatic. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I'm the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Oh, don't mind that. That's just ketchup. Oh, you all right? You seem to be coughing up some, Well, that's concerning. Okay. What is that? It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me.
Well, it really, really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern corner was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Osanaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident.
At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh,
Perspiring maybe, but aspiring?
it was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of the day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. Let's see. Okay. Oh, wait, here.
Fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place.
Oh man, I shouldn't have inhaled that entire bottle of Heinz ketchup. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. Standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Yes! I mean, no! Hold on! Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him!
Objection! I prithee not. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur.
But
The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke, you'll have your chance to fight back. Now we must just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today.
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student.
Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around at that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at this table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? I want to interject, but I feel like that's not the right thing to do here. Because I said if I interject again, I will get penalized, so... No, I feel like I need to hold off and see. You see what I mean?
I think I'm going to wait and see. Because much like regular court, you're supposed to like wait until they are done with their testimony and then you can cross-examine them. Now, if it's anything like the original Phoenix Wright, that's what we should do. Casty Kuna, thanks so much for the follow. Okay, let's wait and see. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject.
Ryunosuke, your parents tell you to study. You're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you?
I suppose I am. I'd never have gotten into Yuma University otherwise.
You can't just always follow the rules in life. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty.
All right, you've scared me. Won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. There is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say it. Yes! Yes! Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
I prithee not. Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw.
Osanaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy.
No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Because, you know, I carry around these things. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Zammy357 and Wolfie Gaming Lover, thanks so much for the follows.
Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume.
That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. But that doesn't prove anything.
Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter.
Thank you, sir. I mean, technically, my napkin over my arm should be covered, just straight red at this point with as much blood I've been coughing up. But, you know what, I don't know why it's not looking that way. I just keep moving it around where you don't see it.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well...
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course. Here you are.
What was that about? It's been completely calm and collected until now.
Something certainly seems to have shaken him. Waiter's business card has been... The waiter's... Let me talk! Waiter's business card has been put in the court record. A sketch of the restaurant's layout is on the back. So, ... 10-yard penalty, first down, offsides. So the court has now heard a precis of this case.
Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
You admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
He's just like looking at a fly flying around. That's why his eyes are darting. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Would it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? You shouldn't have said that. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. Yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? Wait! I just realized the smoker voice, smoker non-smoker voice. Why didn't I think of this before? Smoker voice, bandana flapping in the wind. I need to do a solid snake voice for this guy. That's exactly what I need to do. So, yes. Let's see if we can bring it back a little bit. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself, Colonel? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Yunosuke. War is changed. No. Oh. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Like Gray Fox! Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with proceedings. Let's see. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever! The prosecution calls its next witnesses! Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Okay, people we have not seen before. Hey, Dustbringer, thanks so much for the bits. Speaking of Gray Fox, have you played Metal Gear Rising Revengeance? Yes, I have, actually. I played it back when it was released on PS3, and it is one of my favorite PlayStation 3 games, for sure. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupation for the court. Should I try to do like a, should I try to do like a French voice for this guy, Nosa? Yeah, let's think of a voice to do for this guy real quick. also is a very aggressive character. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Iesunosa reporting for duty, sir.
Boy, I hope no one from France is watching this because I am murdering this accent. Myself, I find employs a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation Nippon, and conducts my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio Korakuta at your service. Liz Sakura, thanks so much for the follow.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And, not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business.
I can't understand a word that old man is saying.
He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. Obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident.
He's gonna smash that face into someone. Yeah, more than likely, Revsro.
Is that correct? Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm also sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. What?
So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Oh, thank you so much for the hydrate, Grim, and a posture check. Make sure I'm not slouching down in the seat too much. Oh, there we go. If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. Will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by.
I heard that sound again. What was that I just heard?
Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir.
Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Testimony. The witnesses saw.
I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged.
Again, I need to stop and just listen because I just heard something again. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Is it a baby crying? I thought I heard the same thing, too. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second where the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes! It is a baby crying. Was that... What? My gosh. But why? Why is that a thing? Are we gonna find out why that's a thing? But what? Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in, where an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous! I didn't shoot anyone! Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes! All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor! After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Corlin11, thanks so much for the follow. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up... Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. Somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now! Do it, Otacon! As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this
Yes!
Yes! What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
I prithee not. The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Liquid! Whether or not you think he's capable is irrelevant. Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. All right. This is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. War has changed, Ryunosuke. But how? You didn't fire the gun. which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. The key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying.
Bah! Now let's go, Ryunosuke! Don't let them beat you!
First he has such the commanding slam, and then Ryunosuke is just slap. All right then! It's all or nothing. Now we get into the meat of the details. Suggesting regulation beefsteak at the restaurant. So now we just get to start pressing everybody. Or everything. Yes! Yes! What? Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new interrogation technique? He's already sweating. I hadn't actually thought of what I wanted to ask. Just ask about anything that catches your attention. Anything that bothers you. And even Phoenix had better luck at this than Ryunosuke has had. Right then, this beefsteak you mentioned. What kind of food is that?
Tenshan!
Beefsteak is a hang on. I was waiting for the cry again. Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal, vigorously cooked on a cast iron grill and served piping hot. Oh. There it is again! Again, why is this a thing? If food could receive medals of honor, beefsteak would be almost as highly decorated as a cutlet. Right! I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Ryunosuke! Is this really what you're gonna be asking about at this point?
Tenshan!
Ah! Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal, tossed in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil. Accept your guilty verdict, atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it! Where? Oh my gosh! That just made me think! Why didn't I think about that? I could be doing French or this, the wah. This could be Waluigi! That could seriously be Waluigi talking right now. Yes, Dusk figured it out as well. Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case? Oops, sorry, I'll do my best. So, next question. Is it just me, or do you keep hearing a sort of wah crying noise?
Negative! Wah!
Well, at least we've learned that he's a big beef lover. Oh, wait. Well, at least we learned he's a big beef lover. Affirmative. It's not easy knowing what questions to ask, but I did just get a medal for it. Prime Presser awarded. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. Yes! I have no idea what you're talking about. A Koban, boy. A Koban? You mean an old Edo coin? The day prior to the incident, a treasure of exceptional value from the Hoei period entered my possession. I took myself to the restaurant the following day, with said items secreted in my bosom pocket, in the hope of an affluent cognizant appraised of its indisputable value being present. So, you were hoping to sell your Koban coin to Sergeant Nosa, whom you met at the restaurant.
Yes, it's quite clear where you're going with this, boy. You are about to assert that a penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious Koban. Isn't that so?
Well...
You little upstart cadet!
I think Waluigi's more nasally.
You little upstart cadet!
Oh, a message here. Hi, I hope you're having an amazing day and week. I hope something positive has come to you recently. I think you are super kind and super funny. I love the energy you bring to the table and bring to the world. You're so happy and positive, and you are so great. Continue to having the most amazing night and week. Continue to shoot for the stars, Kestin. Well, thank you, Ruby Soda Gaming. Much appreciated. Okay.
You little upstart cadet! You want to address disrespecting a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant subordination!
But no, I didn't say anything.
Well, penniless might just be the word I was looking for.
In any case, the hour was already advanced beyond that of the midday luncheon. There remained precious few present with whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. The gentleman beside me, who was grappling with his braised veal at the time, was my sole prospect. I see. Are we just changing up the voices every time for this guy? First it's French, then it's Waluigi, and now Squidward.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
Yes!
Changing tones guy? So this black uniform university cadet, you're saying that was...
I've had just about enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see around here in black uniform, huh?
If I'm trying to get Squidward's nasally part down just right. Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but...
It was you, you little weasel! You unloaded the firearm on that man! From behind his back! And you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon? You disgust me!
Oh, that's a look of realization there, I think. Oh, I forgot that was still an echo. We're already getting into this part early. What is it, Ryunosuke? I'm not quite sure. It's something that Sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record. If you find an inconsistency with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court, thrust it in the witness's face, and make him choke on it. I don't like how you phrase that. I was on my hands on the whereabouts of my absconded curio.
Yes!
On your hands and knees. Could you explain that, please? That's right! Spurning the arthritis I was in order to retrieve the lost piece! What lost piece are you referring to? The Koban, of course! The exquisite Hoeyera Koban coin! I had just been showing the rare treasure to the military man as he masticated his meal. After averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished.
The koban vanished?
Hence, I began to acquaint myself with the intricacies of the floor in order to locate it. And then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
None other than, though it was no concern of mine, I was frantically scouring the floor for the aforementioned lost treasure. So, in fact, you didn't actually witness the precise moment when the incident occurred. Indeed, myself, I did not. Aha. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here.
Listen, Yunosuke. We know there are lies lurking in these statements. It's time to expose them.
I understand that. The question is, how?
Like I said before, the key to this is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present evidence while a witness is giving testimony by pressing R. Go through each witness statement and the details of each piece of evidence and compare all of the facts. Somewhere in there, you'll find Metal Gear and something that doesn't add up. In other words, an inconsistency.
An inconsistency?
You find a statement and a piece of evidence that seems to contradict each other. Present your evidence with X and rip the witness apart! Just be careful, because if you assert a contradiction that has no basis, you'll be given a penalty. If you dealt too many penalties, the defense's case will fall apart, and you'll receive a guilty verdict. So that's it. Peruse the evidence in the courtroom and find an inconsistency for the witness's statement.
All right, I'll give it a try.
You can hear the witness's statements over and over again as many times as you like. So keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner.
Okay, I think I pretty much know where it is. We have to... It's right here. Black uniformed varsity from the back. The report... Well, actually, before I do that, I want to examine something here. Okay, so... Oh, hello. There's something... Hey, wait a minute. There's different things about this business card that look interesting. There's like different parts of it that are... Maybe that's just... It's like it's written over something else. Maybe that's just the front leading through the back, or... Is there something I'm not seeing? Anywho. I wonder if I can do that with all... Okay, you can actually do this with all the things, so it's just that. But what you want to present here, you said he was fired from the back, but this is a gunshot to the chest, as the picture shows. It shows he was shot from the front, so I present this.
Yes!
Yes! May I please be excused to the restroom? I still like using the French voice for the guy, I'll be honest. What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir! I mean, yes! There's a clear inconsistency here!
What nonsense! What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know?
Well, obviously, that,
know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth! I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. So frustrating!
Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain.
Oh, he's doing like the Edgeworth head tap. You see that?
To spell it out would be an insult to the court.
Cosmo, what are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print sent to the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What? Oh, Joseph SSJ 9K. Thank you. Yo, used to love you on AFMAL but didn't like the newer content. Imagine my surprise when I found you here. Well, it's neither here nor there, Joseph. But there is a quick thing I want to mention because Joseph, you just helped us reach a special milestone here on the chat because you are officially the number 5,000 follower on KestinTheVoice. 5,000 followers. I think that deserves. Oh, actually, let me add something here real quick. I don't know why I didn't do this before. Let's see. I want to do because I meant to put this in here before. Yeah, it should work right. Yep, there it is. Oh boy. So thank you very much for that, Joseph. I appreciate it. We have just hit a great milestone. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, sorry about that. That's something you're gonna have to expect on this channel if you're following. Okay. Now, back to this part. What?
Sergeant Aisa Nosa.
Yes, sir? What, sir?
The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no! That just can't be! And why not, cadet? Because...
Take a close look at the print. Victim Dr. Wilson died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it?
What? Wait, what? What? Huh? What is it? What just happened there? What? That's what the... Yes, happy birthday to you, Lady Amber. But that's what this little tie on his front is? He's got a baby on his back? That's what we've been hearing this whole time? Every time he yells, he disturbs his baby? Okay. But, okay. Let's just keep going.
What the... What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again.
Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment... Yeah, there you go. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were... firmly fixed on the delicious Le Carnival steak, sir. What?
The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Aisa Nosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
That's absurd!
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple.
There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Oh, he just threw that back in his face! Okay, I see where you're going with it.
There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial. Just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. He said the thing.
But I definitely saw him! That university cadet there! He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back!
Yes!
Yes! I mean, no! I never fired the gun! All I did was pick it up off the floor! And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Oh, yes. You were looking for your Koban coin, weren't you? Indeed, the prized Hoei era Koban. Hunting around under the table I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there. And then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoei treasure. Nothing could distract me!
Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
That lamentable day, the precious Hoei Koban was lost to me. No doubt, some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. I'm not looking at anybody specific here, with my one good eye and the one monocle I have over said good eye, looking at one person. Maybe your baby ate it, I don't know. As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon.
Nevertheless, the witness testimony to the court has just heard. Let me try that again. The witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now.
What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. Huh? My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What?
He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he?
Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify again. We'll thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir, at once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative! The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up to the ranks, sir. Name, Aido.
It seemed those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny.
Oh, he just did it again. He threw it back into his face. Okay. Aido, tension. What? It's just so ridiculous. Thank you for the hydrate, Lizzie. Okay, your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy.
The true culprit.
Even if what I saw was at the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man. He was that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, standing all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out! But Ryunosuke said he saw a lady. What? Oh, yep. Wait! That's nonsense! The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all! Please, enough of these outbursts already! But there was a woman! There was a young woman at his table! You must have seen her! Everyone there must have seen her!
Objection!
I prithee not! If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly! We are not here to listen to your fantasies! It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this, in fact. Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel? Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident.
Excuse me.
As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else.
This doesn't make any sense.
The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. A bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch can be seen on the victim's table.
I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before has said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well.
But that's not true! I saw her! I swear that I saw a woman with him! It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. Witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takatsuchi Aochi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule!
Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. Oh. What? Oh, that was him saying that. If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses. But make it quick, understood?
Rules can be so unbending at times.
Thank you, Handle Hay, for the hydrate. Okay. Kazuma bring his blade out. I wonder about that, Revzro. So how do we disprove this? What's the same thing? Well, actually, let me start pressing a bit, because I think I know what it is.
Yes!
I'll listen to these guys first. No, it's not the same thing at all! For a start, I didn't fire that gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so.
Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked.
Did you?
Did you see it? Did you see me blink?
How could I?
And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I did blink.
Well, it's just your word against ours.
So there you have it.
Have what?
Tension! The sounds of the firearm rang in my ears, and the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? And let us not forget that the antiques dealer witnessed the accused in this most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Korakuta-san?
Pointing his gun at the four man he was, that young black man I myself did see.
Yes!
Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I've told you already, that's only because I picked it up off the floor!
Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away!
I had just finished drinking my coffee and I was about to leave the restaurant when... Da-da-da! I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And at exactly that moment... Blam! A gunshot rang in my ears. Full of events beyond our control, life is. He's actually kind of talking like Yoda, do you notice that?
Full of events beyond our control, life is.
Sorry? What do you mean?
In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you, with pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner.
Okay. Visual search at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection! I prithee not. As you have been at pains to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman.
If only there'd been more people dining there at the time, and someone else would have noticed her.
Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. A quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant.
I know. Of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect.
Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason.
There was?
This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
What is that, Counsel?
It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
Hotel Clinic. Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m.
The very day of the incident.
So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case.
I wonder. What do you think, Skay?
Huh? Well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really.
Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it would be useful.
Should I ask for the report card to be submitted? Yes, there has to be something related to that.
Yes!
Yes! I do mean yes! If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
I prithee.
I prithee not. Whether or not they are of concern is up for us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues.
I beg your pardon?
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence.
Very well, the court will grant the defense's request. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend.
Yeah, how about that?
Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record.
I'll have to investigate that further.
What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first.
Right, I hear you.
You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the recused Korakuta-san.
Who would have known that having rights meant people would use those? Crazy concept, right, Diamond? Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Yes!
So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. Hesitating.
That I did. Forgive me for the position I place you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there is only a single beefsteak on the victim's table. A meal for one.
Oh,
The antiques dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. If so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. No one other than the Black Uniform Cadet could have dispatched the Englishman over and out.
Yes!
Press that last one. Why aren't you telling the truth?
What did you say, Cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor.
Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible!
Oh, maybe they are hiding something.
Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone.
Sorry?
The waiter whose testimony the court heard earlier clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone.
That's right.
Precisely! In other words, you are the sole proponent of this Phantom Lady!
But I...
If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof! And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this Phantom Woman be made! It is a blatant waste of the court's time!
There's nothing I can say to that.
Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence, so perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? Have Otacon investigate it, analyze it. You'll notice that some piece of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press A and take a closer look at the piece in question. Use left, up, left, down, right. To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using left, up, left, down, right.
Okay, I get it.
Move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, much like the parasite on my head, press A to investigate further. So, partner, I think we should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it more in detail. Possibly something about Shadow Moses.
All right, I'll see what I can do. Need to use right stick, left stick, and A to inspect any areas of evidence that look suspicious.
So we gotta see if they're required for every visit. John Wilson Hota Clinic. Hota Clinic. Oh, that's a neat little visual. It says Hota Clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics, almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm.
Don't let them put you off of vaccines, folks. They work. I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life.
Most people would think their right arm have only one cold in their whole life.
Exactly, Kazuma.
Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people with illnesses like that.
I need to do that voice while speaking into a fan. Yeah, that would be nice. I'll have to see if I can find one.
Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything.
dentist at Hota Clinic. Looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record of long-term treatment, that's why. A familiar doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine. Going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one! Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors, then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible-tasting medicine, they give you painful injections, and then they demand lots of money for you for the privilege, all when you're at your lowest ebb! Boy, you're getting a little real here, Ryunosuke. You sound like a model patient, with a bad case of stubbornness, no less, for which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. Okay. We have something here. Open wide. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. Okay. Victim had undergone dental treatment and prohibited from eating or drinking anything but water. But if he was prohibited from eating, why did he have a steak on his plate? Right? This new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So, I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely! It's the same thing. The man, he was a young lad in black, that much I myself can see. Currently the only personnel present. Alone, he was dining all by himself. Okay, alone he was, dining all by himself. So, I think I need to present the medical record and saying that he shouldn't have been eating in the first place. So let's try it.
Yes!
Yes! Well, I think,
About what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? Do you?
I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. All right. And thanks for the advice. Korekuta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim.
Ah, I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy?
Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. He's slapping like, did I just hit something, or was that right? Something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection!
I'm pretty not. Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel! But Let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's,
Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further.
No, I'm giving Cosma a solid snake voice, auto light protector.
The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who... Oh, there's that slap.
That is the confident slap I was waiting for. I believe. I was gonna say that made everyone gasp. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that?
What? That outburst half petrified me, boy! Of course I believe it! How can it possibly be relevant?
Perhaps because Hota Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted?
What's this now?
And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating.
Huh? Eh? Where?
Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat? So what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? No, that can't...
Korakuta-san!
What, boy? What?
As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Oh, he does have 2 eyes. You really see it there now. Additionally,
There's more?
you have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case! Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic! Ah!
Expertly done, partner.
Objection!
What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations! Just look at this photographic evidence! You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table!
Objection!
I prithee not!
Use your head, Ocelot. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow logic?
How dare you?
How dare I? We're trying to prove a man innocent and you're asking questions like this?
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. If I could kill it, I would. But I legally can't.
Thank you for the hydrate, Lizzie.
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned.
Oh my gosh, he's throwing out bangers left and right. Okay.
Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke?
Yes, most definitely.
So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel.
Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it?
Right. The answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of your turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of.
Got it! So, person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... Ooh. Let me check something real quick. I was trying to see if this photo had like another like plate at the table, but there wasn't. Victim himself, me, 2 witnesses, an as yet unknown third party. It'd have to be this woman that we keep talking about, an as yet unknown third party. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
I prithee not! You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person!
Yes!
Yes, there was, because I saw her.
When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was someone else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage,
I'm going to have to cut them down.
we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly.
Cosima? Are you insane? You would take on the government?
Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them, the 2 witnesses in the stand.
Where? What are you talking about?
We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if it now turns out that the 2 of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury.
Perjury?
And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Complicit in murder? No! And the baby will be charged as well. Negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders? I was just following orders? That's right! As the man says, just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they, told us. Oh, somebody spilled the beans. Oh. What? What did you say? What did you just say, Korikuta-san? Oh, no! You were just following orders? Now hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas?
What?
Objection!
I breathe in! What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair?
Wait, he didn't know about this either? I thought he was the one that told him not to say it.
Just one simple slip of the tongue! Order! Order! Council, explain what's going on here! It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this!
Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
Oh, well,
That's
that's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening! Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchie had any idea about it.
What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. Only if the government, the military, or the police, I suppose.
Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, we can continue our pursuit.
So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut.
Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here.
But how? How can we possibly...
Remember how we made progress before?
Before?
We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We have nanomachines, son.
It's really a whodunit now for sure.
We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers! If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe! Please, wait, Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this! I swear to every Shinto god! I knew nothing! And what does the defense have to say about all this, hmm?
Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... Oh, boy. Let's say, I'm not even allowed to look at my evidence. The only person with the necessary influence to manipulate them. No. The only person... Army Sergeant of the Empire of Japan. It's either the butler or this guy. Oh boy, this is tough. Why would this guy want to silence these two into not saying anything? Ooh, like the only other, besides the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... Oh boy. Yeah, I can't look into the court record right now. Well, I mean, I guess I have plenty of shots to do it, but my first guess, if you're talking about a person of influence, you're talking about an authority in forensic medicine. It'd be Mikotoa, but we haven't mentioned him whatsoever in this entire trial. The only other, and this is the only other guy we talked about here too, Hosonaga. Serving there on the day of the witnesses. Like this guy, I'm starting to think it might be Waiter because this guy wasn't there, at least we don't think he was. But the waiter dude, the head waiter of this European restaurant here in Japan, was the only one there, claims he never saw the woman either, so he should be the only other person there that could have told them to keep their mouths shut. So, he's the one I'm gonna present.
Yes!
Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san!
Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
I prithee not! Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. Oh, now we're getting into some detail. Sorry, I was in echo mode because I was making it dramatic for you. Here, let me reread this.
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter cannot possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What? If he truly were...
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity as proven by this evidence.
So this is his business card here. Aha! Look at this! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation, Imperial Police Bureau. This guy ain't a waiter, he's a cop! Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look! Do you see it says the witness... Oh, I got it mixed up. You see it says the witness's name here, Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name, that's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. Let's face it, police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here. And appropriately updated. Present.
Yes!
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree, it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything.
Sorry, Your Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest.
I beg your pardon?
Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes! It's the front of the back of the card! That's where the telling detail is!
Would somebody... Excuse me. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession.
The waiter's profession, but that's surely... Good gracious!
That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division,
Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as irregular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene?
Well...
Hold it. Oh! Well, hello again. Oh, things are getting interesting. Inspector Hosonaga! I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility.
Court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once!
Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card.
I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch.
Oh, the eyes are revealed.
It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Of course! Your salary must be terrible! Flawlessly, are you related to someone named Von Karma? Ooh, boy. Oh, I wonder. I was working undercover.
Undercover?
Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter working undercover.
Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents?
That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court.
Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. And at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct?
Okay, we gotta figure out what's going on here with that. But for an opening case, this is actually going a lot longer than I thought it would. Man. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the blood there this time. Correct, Your Excellency.
Unbelievable!
As I suspected.
Oh, I thought that just happened right then. I thought he just got shot in court. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman.
So the truth comes out.
I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders.
Special orders? You mean to say...
Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders.
But what if this Englishwoman was the killer?
I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. Oh boy. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question.
So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right!
No one's wanting to speak up. Mundane Boba, thanks for the follow.
One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And if I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young English woman.
Oh, does he already know who it could be?
What?
You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour.
You mean...
When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first.
Queen Guinevere, thanks for the follow.
And the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector.
The English woman sitting at the university's professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yume University's medical faculty.
What is happening here?
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in the testimonies. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Ooh, they're putting it on the judge, huh? Guess that is his job.
Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise.
I gotta say, this judge is much more, you know, present and knowledgeable about what to do than the previous judge is. Like, he is here on business.
Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
I prithee not!
But Your Excellency! That would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain! Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions!
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosanaga.
Yes, sir.
You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency.
At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau!
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So, it won't be a problem? As long as I don't die first. Nothing will get in my way, especially not this collapsed lung that I have. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency! Good. And we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. To be continued. Oh boy. Oh, me oh my, oh me oh my. Save current progress, please. Wait, saving this slot? No. Oh, I guess that is the first slot. Cool. Oh boy, well, yo, that actually is a very good spot for us to just call it for the night. 'Cause, man, I did not think that the first case of this game would be so in-depth. And for it to actually... Whoops. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna have to... Oh boy. Anywho, yes, this is a very interesting case where not only is it just about like a simple murder and this person did it, but now this is actually getting like government, military, police influence where they're kind of like muddying the waters and such to the point where like said even if this person did it, we don't want to arrest them because that could jeopardize our new treaty with this foreign government. And like it's bringing like world politics into play here on the first case of the game. That's pretty impressive. Like there's definitely higher stakes going into this than the first Phoenix Wright game had. So I am very interested to see how this goes. And yes, it's fun creating all these different voices and things like that for this. So I am very eager to see where this goes from here. Let's see here. I'm just going to take a... Oh, man. I want to kick it over to Shadow, but the thing is for a raid, but the thing is he is playing Great Ace Attorney as well right now, so I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm going to let him do his thing there, and we're going to see if we can find somebody else to raid tonight. Let's see here. I'm just playing some little bit of soft music in the background while I am searching for a new name, but yeah, fun stuff on this. And I'm very... Did the first game not have more stuff? Well, we went through all the cases on it, and like it went through like murder cases and also, you know, like police and not so much police corruption, but it was more corruption on the inside of like, you know, lawyers and the judicial system because of certain people. If you've not played that game yet, I'm trying to avoid spoilers here, but there was also like the first Ace Attorney compilation. There was other games in there as well that we have not touched yet, but in just what I have played, like I've not played those games either, but in terms of this, it seems like there is a much bigger repercussions that could be happening in terms of like the outcome of this case, you know what I mean? So we're just gonna see what we can find here. Whew. It's fun to do those voices, but it can be very straining on the voice as well. Oh well, Mr. Sayu, VTuber, is currently playing right now. He's playing on Genshin Impact. That could be a fun one to jump into. You might know Sayu as Kagi Films, if you're familiar with him. Alejandro Saab, great voice actor and everything. Known him for quite a bit. Could give him a raid, because I like the design of his VTuber, to be honest. Like the whole robot guy design there. Let's see here. Look at what was this going on here? Kind of like people are trying to get me to look at some kind of I'm not really sure what you're talking about, Jenny. I don't see what you mean in terms of look at somebody's comment, because I don't even see what you're talking about. Didn't he do Gene in My Street? Yes, he did, in fact, Duskbringer. And he did that quite a while back. He did it in My Street and a bit of Diaries as well. Let me see. I don't think I had anything else in terms of... rewards requests and things like that. Whew, I can definitely tell I'm gonna need to go get some... Oh, Diamond. Okay. Well, Sarah, glad you could come in here and watch. Hello, oh, Diem. What? There's no need to, shorten it like that, because it doesn't help me whatsoever. Let's see. Oh, you were trying to get me to look at his recommendation of Voya is online. I've actually never heard of them before. That's what it was. Okay. Well, I appreciate the suggestion, but let me pop in here and see how Sayu is coming along here. Because I'm watching like a little side stream on the side here just to see
some gas?
if things are going well. If not, I will definitely take the other person into consideration. Boy is a cool robot VTuber that sometimes makes music too. Oh, neat.
Surely just one of them. Is it time for the booba?
Oh, it's always time for the
Okay, well, I'm not gonna think about it too long and hard here. I think tonight, because I started interacting with the chat here the other day, and I think it would be good to pop in there and see how things are going. So, let's go ahead and set up a raid for them.
Think they mean the actual statue?
Oh, Diamond's already watching them, seeing what's going on.
Like up here? We'll find out. The one in the dawn.
Okay, there we go. All right, folks. Like I said earlier at the start of the stream, I am going to be off next week on a special trip. So no stream during that time. We'll be back next time, hopefully to try and finish out Kingdom Hearts. Finally, once and for all, get it out of the way so we can get back to more of this stuff. Chemo Switch Shock, thank you so much for the follow right when we were about to end. But anyways, thank you all so much for taking the time to come in here and enjoy the content we've got going. As we said before, be sure to leave a follow, a subscription, check us out on KestinTheVoice, join us on Discord, or follow me on social media at KestinTheVoice. Anywhere you type, it's going to be the same name every which way. But anyways, this is Kestin, wishing you a good day, a good evening, and good night. Take care, y'all, as we get ready to hit this stream up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I want to focus on covers and streaming.
Let's go.